Hello, welcome back again in a Python exploratory, in which that we are trying to go through the tutorial step by step, okay, for the Python presidential Twitter analysis. Okay, in here we are going to start exploring this data that we have identified, and we are going to try and read and prepare the data because just now was in a JSON format, so we want to read it in a data frames, which is pandas way of saying, hey, let's put it inside a two-dimensional data. So it's like a table, like Excel sheet, that you have rows and columns and everything is organized and easy to be taken a look at. Okay, then we are going to use a little bit of matplotlib to view the data and the search term analysis. So we are going to see like what is the exploratory trends of mentions of these two presidential candidates. Okay, so moving on, let's try and prepare the data. So for the sake of this exploration, because it's a little bit too many, I would like to not type it out in front of you guys, but what you can do, feel free to pause it at every second at any time, and you can take a look at it. And if you don't want to do that, if you don't want to follow, feel free to just copy paste the code. What's important here is that you understand the concept. So don't worry if you do not understand the code much or it's a bit too superfluous for you, but try to understand how the pipeline works, okay? And just copy paste the codes from the GitHub, which is the link is below, and just follow it. Okay, cool. So now the first thing that you want to do is that you import JSON and you import all these data analytics related. Pandas is giving you a data frame representation in which you put in a table like columns and rows. Alright, and you have matplotlib, pyplot, splt style. So what I'm doing here is that I'm taking care of the figure size to 8,7. You can put it anything you want, just follow this mpr.rc. Fixed size you can put at 6 or 5, whatever that suits you, it doesn't really matter. Okay, and the style that I use ggplot because it looks cool, it looks okay. And after that you need to use a magic so that you can tell your IPython notebook, hey, I want the charts to be generated in line of the IPython notebook, so easier for you to see. Okay, so just run it, no error, that's good. And after that you want to put in your file directory. So where you put it just now, for me, I don't want to use my demonstrate these to demonstrate Twitter tweets. If you have generated, just put it here. So, but for now, for me, I don't want to use that. I have created a stream which is I think more than 10,000 data, and I want to use it, and I streamed that for 1 hour. So for the sake of this data analytics, I'll show you with this. Okay. Alright, but don't worry if later on when we're doing exploratory, the result is not exactly the same, because that we stream it in a different timing. So of course there's a different messages that come into the JSON that we were working on. Okay. So afterwards, what you want to do is that you want to put it into a file. You want to create tweets data. So basically this is just a placeholder. It's a list, but we want to keep appending it on the list. So text, and we want to append it. Alright. So first of all, from this file, what we want to do is that we want to read the lines. So for line in the tweets file. Okay, so all the different line break rows we want to read. And what we want to do is that we want to JSON load it. So what JSON load's doing is that if you see here, you see there's a number here. This is one line, so 7 until 8. So this is one line. So it will load this JSON from here. It will load the whole things, but put it in a format in which you can call the attributes easily. Okay, and afterwards from here, what I want to do is that I want to append it. So let's run it, print the length. So for now I have 1041, which is quite decent. Okay, but what you can do is that you can take a look at the tweets data. Why not? So this gives me kind of error. Let me pause for a while. I shouldn't have done it because there's a 1000 rows of data and it will be taking so slow. Let me pause for a while and let me fix it, and I can show it to you one or two about that. Okay, I should have done tweets data and then block 0 so I can take the first one. Okay, cool. So now it works. So I put just 0 here. Don't put it like the whole things. I apologize again. If you have that error and you have done it, then feel free to just close your browser and then open it up again. And it should work once you put like 0 here. So I can only take one of these. So this is the kind of JSON that you're looking for. So how you can extract this one is like quite simple. I'm going to show you in the next. Okay. So, but I think you can do it. For example, let me try. Okay. Yeah, there's a. What I'm doing. Okay. Yeah, so something like this. Contributors. Since I could find it, is that name? Text. I can't remember. Oh yeah, there you go, text. So you see here that yeah, quite cool. It gave me a very quick attribute filtering. So this is the best thing about JSON. Once you have this data, then you can just add on text here. So one more time is that, for example, if I want to see the favorite count, so favorite count is 0 here. So yeah, let's do favorite count. Okay, and then I run it, and there you go. You see 0. So this is a quick look how you can take a look at data. But for now, let's be satisfied with this, and let's put things into data frames. Yeah. So first of all, import datetime. We want to use it in order for machine readable time, and afterwards I created these definitions. Okay, there's a reason why. It's because that some of the text in the data that I have is a little bit hard to be parsed inside the data frame, because there might be Russians, or there might be other text which is non-machine readable, which is not ASCII, for example. So just to get around that is that I want to skip those rows which have this unreadable text, so that I could just skip it and just read those that my machine can read. It should not be a problem because there are so many tweeters anyway, so just removing one or two that your machine doesn't like would not change much to the analysis. So this is what I'm doing. Okay, so I create a get text that take a look at tweets, and it will an element, and then what it does is that it will return tweets element. But in case if there's an error, as what I've told you before, maybe there's an emoticons, then it will just pass it and then move on to the next tweet for it to read. Okay. So afterwards, I created this panda data frame in which I want to add on text, length, and created add. So if you see here, it's quite simple. I run this get text method, which will return tweet the element. Okay, and I put for tweet in tweets data. So if you don't know what is this representation, it's actually the same thing as for tweets in tweets data. Okay, and I put a list, like for example text list, append, get text, tweets, text. It's actually the same, so this rows is the same thing as this, but it's a very faster way to put it in a set and then keep going on repeating for each set in the tweets data. So that is cool. Then I do the same thing with the length, with the created add, and it gives me this list. And afterwards, I created add, I put it as a, well, I set it to index and I make it into a datetime format. And if I run this, it's done. Let's try to view it a little bit, and this is what you get. So this is quite cool. I can see all the index here, which is the date and time. I can see the text here, and I can see the language here. But this is not enough. What I want to do is that, well, there might be some NA in the text filter, sometimes it happens because it sees some emoticons that is regarded as a blank text or something. But you can run it, and if not, then if you don't want to run it, then it's also fine. So basically I just drop NA and of rows, and if there is an NA that it doesn't have date or it doesn't have language, so please just drop the rows. Okay, and afterwards I see whether there are still nulls, and there are no, so you clean it off already. Okay, and afterwards I do analysis by language, so it's good. And this is quite important, is that you have a text here, correct? But the thing is that, right, you want to make sure that this text talks about either Hillary or Trump. You want to separate those. So how do you separate those? Well, we see whether a certain word is inside that text. So what we do is that we RE stands for regular expression. So basically it's a way how you can find a certain text, a certain digit, a certain alphabet in a certain word or sentences. It's a very useful term and a little bit complicated, but I'll go through with the intuitive here. So basically the intuitive is that I want to find a word in a certain text, whether it is there, whether it contains. If it contains, then give me true. If it doesn't contain, then give me false. Okay, right? And then moving on is that this is one of the example. So hello is in high, then maybe I will say hello instead, because there's a hello here. This will return true, and I just run it, and there you go, it's true. If I don't say some rubbish, then it returns false because you cannot find true. So this is good. I create my own methods, and there you go. So let's use this in Trump and Hillary. So if you see here, I apply it to the text. So what it does is that it will give through the text one by one, look at it, and then run this method, word in text. And after that, basically it will give me a bunch of things, whether it's true or false, and it puts it in Trump and Hillary. And if I want to see which one is true or false, then what I can do is that, for example, if I erase this, so I can see that Trump, there are true 761 and false 273. But since I don't need false, I just need to see how many counts of the sentences that talks about Trump, how many of Hillary. Then I just put block 1 here, means that taking the first 11, and there you go, 761. So there are 761 posts for Trump, 333 posts for Hillary. Which makes sense because, I mean, this is post-presidential. Hillary is slowly shifting out of the picture. And definitely Trump is talked the most. I mean, he's the current president. So after that, you put it into matplotlib, and you just put plot it there, and this is what you can find: Trump and Hillary to the counts. Okay, then we can see the trends. So by the end of the day, you will have this message. So you will find out whether this talks about Trump, okay, whether this talks about Hillary, and that's good. And if you want to see the people that talk about Hillary, then what you can do is just a quick one, tweets Hillary equals true. Okay, so, and please take a look at the tweets that have this. Oops, sorry for that. Okay, then run it, all of this true, and you see Hillary is there, and this is for both Trump and Hillary. There's a mention of it. And so on. And if you want to see just a text only, then just put that, and you see Hillary, Trump, and so on. Okay, so that's how you do it. And after that, you can explore by tweets counts. So just group by and then index sum. Maybe I will cover this more when I talk about pandas specifically, how to work. So basically just group it by Trump and Hillary, and then see what are the dates. Okay, but currently I only have one date here. I don't have much dates to offer you guys. So this is enough, but if you have more dates, then you can have like more dates here coming along. Then in the future also, like, you can create a graph plot, line plots. Okay, and that's it. With that, I would like to say thank you and see you for the next lesson. We talk about sentimental analysis. Bye bye.